There we go. All right, we'll hang out for a few minutes, see who shows up. If anybody. There we got some people. Perks of working late. Are you still at work? Well, I mean, it's only 4 o'clock, not even 4. See, I got places I gotta go today. It's gonna be a long day for me. Then I gotta go to work tomorrow, which is gonna suck. I've had like 5 days off with the holiday, but I feel like I had nothing off. And Jeremy, kind of. What I mean by kind of is so there's a K State basketball game tonight, and then of course the Vikings play. Vikings obviously are going to have a better year than K State basketball is going to have, judging by how it's been going. But there's something to supporting live sports and being there in a little town like this. So, woo, oh my God, that's a long day, Matt. Uh, so what we're going to end up doing is going to the K State game. I'm going to go there. Aaron can't go tonight, so I'm taking a friend of mine from work and his wife watching the game. And then on my phone, I'm going to have the Viking game going. So it's going to be a watching two things at the same time. It's going to be crazy. But obviously, this is a huge game for the Vikes, so I'm going to do my best to tune into that. Get to this one. You think they give you a headache, Wolfgeist? Oh man, you should try being me for a day. Yeah, the masses can drive you up a wall, but I mean, it's part of it. We really are trying to grow the YouTube again. Unlike some people, I'm not trying to throw shade. So if anybody takes it that way, that's not my goal. But I kind of, you know, what's good? Everything's good. Jason, everything's good. Oh man. Yep, I saw at Corey. What did I miss? I missed something. Our troll free place. Yeah. What about that dude that was like, well, anti-Semitic? See that shit. That's the one thing that pisses me off. And because I don't know. It's probably somebody who we make haters, and I'm gonna continue to make haters as it goes, and it is what it is, and I just I don't care. It's part of it. So late. How late did I reply? I don't know what I'm talking about. Reply today. It was a very trolly day. It's probably because we're in the middle of the day, so I think I don't know. Maybe you get kids home from school being stupid or what, but some of the things that too I want to talk about you guys like on the Copa stuff because I was trying to be very careful not to really get in like and got into it, you know, but I didn't get into it too deep. From what I understand, Hardwick went on a rant, and again, I'm not trying to throw shade. It's everybody's free to do what they want to do. Reference, according to this is from talking to Kurt, talking about making $30,000 on YouTube, and now he wouldn't do YouTube now if he would start today for fear of this, and sky is falling kind of crap. One, I don't know what anybody makes on YouTube because we can't talk about it. Uh, he does a lot more videos than we do, so maybe but also saying that he'd quit his job as a scientist to do that, you know. Uh, man, I can tell you, like, I just don't see that. You know, switch to the Ravens, losing the Dolphins maybe switch. And the other thing is the idea of, well, you shouldn't even do it now because of this. Man, fuck that. If you want to do it, do it. Don't let something like this throw a damper on what you want to do or anything else. You do it if you want to do it. I take a little bit of, I guess, resistance to that would be the best word. I don't want to say offense. So I got no issue with Chris at all, and I'm not trying to get one. Uh, but the idea that somebody shouldn't do YouTube now because of this, to me, is extremely elitist, and I'm just not with that. What I mean by it's extremely elitist is many times you're doing something like whether it's YouTube or Patreon or breeding snakes or whatever it is you're doing, and you sit there and you say, "Well, I can do this," but oh, you shouldn't. I mean, no matter what the reason is, are you fucking for real? Like seriously? You know? uh, I just don't. I don't buy into that. I'm going to tell you if you want to do it, do it. You know, am I going to tell you you're going to be great at it? No. You know, and I don't know if you will or not, but do it. Don't let somebody stop you from it. Don't let somebody else tell you that, oh, well, I can do this, but you shouldn't. And he's not the only one to post about the COPPA thing. I think he jumped on the bandwagon on it because a ton of people had. And I mean, obviously, people are asking me about it. I'm like, well, the fuck it is. So, I don't blame him for talking about that. But the idea of, well, today I wouldn't even start YouTube. I don't think it's worth the risk. That's where I have an issue. Give people information, but let them make the decision for themselves. Don't tell somebody they shouldn't do it. If they want to do it, support them. If they want to make that change in life, support them. If they're saying, hey, I think I want to do this. What should I expect? Tell them what to expect, and tell them they want to do it. Go for it. Be supportive. That's where I'm coming from. It's the same thing about be positive. Don't go out there in the community and act like you can do something that others can't, because the fact of the matter is, anytime you start believing that you can do things that others can't, and that you are somehow above and beyond everybody else, somebody's going to knock you off that perch, and you're going to deserve it when it happens, whether that's anybody else out there or whether it's me. Okay, like, you have to understand that whatever it is that you're doing, anybody else can do. Anybody else can come on and do YouTube. It ain't exclusive to me. It ain't exclusive to Brian Barczyk. It ain't exclusive to Nerd. It ain't exclusive to anybody. Okay? So if you want to do it, do it. Do it. That's what I'm going to tell you. Do it. It's all going to be in getting a little bit of luck, getting out what you put in. So. Uh, and see, Corey, I don't really know him personally. So, like, I can't really say that. I don't have the time to watch this video. So I'm taking your word for it on that, and some people it is an investment. And I think some people, they come off as it's just an investment because they focus more on that side and less on the passion side. Maybe it is a passion for them, it's just their personality. It's hard to say, but so I don't know if it is or not for him on that front. I mean, he may be the most passionate person in the world about snakes. He may not really give a shit past the money. I don't really have an answer to that, and I've thought that with other people too, but I don't really know the truth behind it. I will tell you that when you're trying to push out daily content, and you're always trying to latch on to the latest, greatest topic of the day, I tend to think that your goal is probably more your YouTube than it is your snake breeding. And that's not a bad thing. That's not me ripping on anybody. It's just facts, I mean, I'll pick on Brian. You guys know when it comes to Brian, and I'm talking about Barczyk here, I'm a supporter of his. I consider the guy a friend. He'll help me when I need help. He's a great dude, He's a great dude. But I can tell you this, his personal focus is more on his social media than his breeding reptiles. Hands down. He'd tell you the same thing if you ran into him. He's got people that work on the breeding for him, and he cares about it, and he still oversees it, and it's still important to him. But the way he's going to put food on his table, which is probably a lot bigger table than mine, is going to be through social media. That's it. So his videos tell that. They're very polished. You can tell us where he spends his time, and which is fine. But it's just being who you are, being what you are. So when I say that, it's not saying that they're wrong to do that, but it is, to me, tells you where their first priority is. Especially if they're doing it all on their own. Yeah, Corey, I don't watch much of it anymore because I just don't have time. It's just, oh fuck, he's breeding caramels. I did not know that, Jimmy. Well, I think breeding caramels is a bad idea personally. I'll be the first to say that. But from the flip side of that coin, other people think breeding spiders is a really bad idea. So my challenge would be, if somebody's going to breed caramels and they're going to openly breed caramels, I want them to show every caramel pairing and every caramel clutch. Do it in the open. Do it in the open. Show every single baby. Do it in the open. If you do it in the open and you've got a way to make it work out, man, that would be awesome. Share it with the world. Because if you can make caramels work and not kink, they're beautiful. I'll start breeding them too. I just got to know the way to do it. So if you've got that, share it with the hobby, or don't do it if you can't. You know, that's my whole thing. Oh, half was het caramels, but no visual caramels, huh? The only thing that could be, you know, I don't know if I'm going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt on that, is that maybe he's got a really nice visual caramel with a bunch of other genes that he's using, but he's not putting it to caramel. So everything comes out het caramel. He's disclosing the het caramel. That is that a possibility, or do we know for sure he's trying to make visual caramels? Because I'm still going to use Trouser. Hell, Trouser's paired up right now, and his offspring will be possible het caramel. But I'm putting him into a entirely different female from last year that I got that is not supposed to be het caramel at all again. So we're gonna see. But if he's just using a caramel male because it contains X, Y, and Z, and putting it to some females, and then okay, you know. So yeah, he stated in a video. What did he state, Jimmy? That he was doing caramels. Oh, okay. Well, if he stated video, yeah. I hear you, Matt. Hey, here's the good news. So that Suma's got three females it's going to. I'll share them all with you really quick. First one's one we affectionately call the Het Pied Knot, which is just a big, big normal. She's a Patreon clutch. She usually lays a lot of eggs. So that's why I picked, you know, you guys picked Suma. She's getting it. I haven't seen a pair there yet, but they've been together several times. She's also stated to go to the black, or he's also going to the black pastel spider. So that will be, of course, you know, Suma Black Pastels. Obviously, I don't know if I've disclosed this yet or not. If I have, it's because I haven't got a chance to. The Super Black Pastel Banana Clutch, all of them are out. All the one are doing great. And the one that's not doing great was a kinked up mess and died after, I mean, it was alive and it was cut, you know, but it did not make it and it was horribly deformed. So low incubation temperature without fluctuation does not fix Super Black Pastel. Doesn't do it. Therefore, we're not bringing Super Black Pastel anymore. We're going to take the one shot. We took it, didn't work. It's out. So also to Persephone, our Black Pastel female, she's getting the Suma, and that will be the three Sumas this season. I have a banana female who's right on the verge of getting the size, and I will go ahead and push him a little hard since he's been such a good eater. He kind of has to know super. He's chunky to push him to her as well, so we can do some mahogany bananas. Because now the goal is, of course, Suma banana. Suma banana will get us to should be an all purple snake. And yes, Dusty, I did get that Suma from Travis Whistler Reptiles. Travis was great to work with. That was one where I bought in Kansas at least. Last time I went to Florida, I bought a bunch of Kansas snakes. Not all Kansas snakes. It was kind of running a joke. Is I drive to Florida to buy snakes from Kansas. It's kind of hilarious. That'll be a good pairing, Corey. It'll be a good pairing. Yes, Wolf Guys. We had a ton of it going low and slow. So the idea, and the reason we did that is because I had always heard, oh, low and slow, you know, you almost bought that snake. He had two, Dusty, and I bought one at the very end of the show. So, yeah, I'm glad I bought it. Glad you didn't, no offense. But yeah, you know, I'd always heard if you cook them slow and low temperature, it would help to reduce the kinking. So that was what we did. Then I'd also seen people personally who had done that and then still had kinking, but they were also in the fucking incubator all the time. Their ambient temperatures had horrible swings in the room they were in. So I didn't know if maybe we could, if we separated the incubation to where it was just steady the whole time, if maybe we could correct some of that. We did not. We did not correct any of it. However, again, with everything you do, you live and learn. And let me tell you, those babies, well, they took forever to come out. They all came out massive, except for one. We did have one that did not absorb all of its choke and came out a little early, but it's still decent. I mean, it looks teeny tiny, but I bet it still weighs 55, 60 grams, which is small, but not horribly small. I bet some of those other ones, I bet there's a couple that are close to 90 to 100 grams fresh out the egg, which is nuts. I'll share them with you guys when they shed. They're still in the tub waiting to shed out. I do have one of the meanest little bastards I've ever seen in there, but other than that, it all came out good. So what I'm getting at is I likely will knock my incubation temperature down a degree next year. So we'll probably lower it by about a degree or at least half a degree to see if maybe that lowering will help with some of our issues we've had and keep us from some smaller babies, which hopefully in the long run will be a better production for like not full term of the egg, but like baby coming out, not being behind the 8 ball as often. Maybe lower some of those instances would be what I'm going to go for. So no. 2 clutches is not too optimistic. I think that is a perfect way to start. Um, I wouldn't go. I think breeding 10 clutches would be a little optimistic your first year, but breeding 2 is kind of a perfect number to kind of get your feet wet. The male will usually eat when the male's damn good and ready to eat. We do have a few that are very difficult. One of them is one of my most prolific breeders, but he never gets very big. He's hard to get to feed, and that is our banana black pastel. So I've looked at it, but I've never used it. Like I've seen it online. I haven't seen enough about it yet to jump into it. And truth be told, I'm into so many projects right now that there are a few projects I want to finish before I start jumping a lot of new stuff. And we try to limit, our new projects because we're at a point in our career now when I say, okay, let's get into this project, we're probably not going to get a snake. And we're probably going to dive into said project, with the exception of if we decided to jump into something extremely expensive. And what I mean is look at Desert Ghost last year. We decided to jump into Desert Ghost. There's a multitude of Desert Ghost females, or not visuals, but hets, and one visual male, all with extra kicker genes going on. So, we jumped in, like full-fledged jumped in. It's crazy. But, so we try to limit that per year as to how much shit we're going to jump into. The exciting stuff this year is going to be some Orange Dream things. Let me see if we can... Oh, I moved her over here, I think. Somebody asked if I knew where all my snakes were. I said, yeah, because they're labeled. So we are trying to do some Orange Dream pairing. There is no pairing going on there. But that is, not Blitz, China Orange Dream. And then we have another female. I can't remember if I actually moved her or not. If you'll bear with me 1 second, I'll share her with you. That is going to be a pretty awesome Orange Dream pairing if it goes. Oh. Don't mind the poop back there. There's a lock. So this is one of our normal het clowns, possible het caramels. This is one that wasn't big enough to breed last year, is this year. So we don't know if, these will all be possible het clowns, 50%, 50 or 25% het caramel, I think. And you can see the lock there. So that is an Orange Dream. Yeah, so right there, that's our Orange Dream. Locked to a normal. So the clowns. And that was just kind of to get his feet wet. There's another one I'm looking for. Where in the hell did I move you to? I know I moved her over here. I gotta just find her. We had kind of a grow up day, a graduation day. So now I'm having to look for where I stuck all these things. Oh, there it is. We'll see if they're locked up. And I can't really tell if we got a lot going on there right now. But that will be an Orange Dream pastel female bred to an inchy male. So, of course, this we're doing for Kurt, right? Because these are some of his favorites. So we're going to get that rolling. Although he's probably going to be a little disappointed that we didn't do the super Orange Dream. The boys, a lot of my boys aren't eating so good. My females are eating really good right now. So it's kind of normal, right? Pride of Texas is on. What's up, Cody? Let me show you yours. So your snake, I got some exciting news. Now this tub is a little bit on the dirty side, but that's on purpose. And guys, I want to show you this snake. This is a GHI Bumblebee female. She's in an extremely small tub for her size, okay? Nope, wrong one. I opened the wrong one. There she is. So she looks like she needs a bigger tub, but she doesn't eat in a bigger tub very well. So I wanted to let you know, Cody, that this snake here, this is what I got from Cody. He sent us because he was saying it just was a pain in the ass. Has been a struggle for us too. So what anything you were doing? God, I wish her colors picked up on camera better. Oh, I know you're gonna get scared, girl. Don't get scared. But she is now eating about 3 meals in a row. So she went from occasionally eating to eating pretty consistently. So that's always good. I'll show you another snake that I think is just awesome. That one's coming out just awesome. That is that champagne one. I'm really excited about how she is ended up coming out. Look at the line on her. Come on, focus. I said focus. There you go, kind of, sort of. Really beautiful. Anyway, wanted to share those with you really quick. Oh, and then one more I want to share with you. Just because the light eye snakes are so twitchy. This is another one we got from you, Cody. And it has been eating great. It did skip a few weeks, and then I was able to tease it into getting back on food. So she's growing really well. This is also another one that is Het Desert Ghost. This is our Mojave Het Desert Ghost. We did the unboxing video on. So I wanted to share those with you since you're on here because I haven't seen you in a while. She's doing decent. She's doing decent. The other one, he had two that were kind of giving him fits. Still gives me fits sometimes, but they're both they're both doing good. I think now I've got the secret to her. I will leave her in that tub until it looks like she possibly can't fit and go to an FB40, and eventually she's taking bigger meals too. I had her taking like mice, and now she's at least taking pups. Which again, guys, you're probably like, a pup? Really? It seems really small. But you gotta understand, this snake was a pain in the ass. So getting it to take pups is a victory all in of its own. So she's gonna get there. How's the black pastel spider doing? I'll show her to you as well. We plan on hopefully pairing her this year. She does eat for us, but she doesn't eat the best for us all the time. You can see her right there. She's kind of hanging out. So I'll give you a better view of her. Oh, so she's doing decent. She's not super big, but she's ready to go, I think. There you go, girly. I know, I took you out of your dish. Pissed you right off. No, it wasn't just you. That's why I wanted to share it with you. She is just in general a pain, yes. But I think we got it figured out. Like I told you, we would do our best with her. I think we have her figured out. So it just took some time, and I don't mind putting the time in her. We'll get her where she needs to be, and hopefully we'll be able to use her for a breeder someday. Because GHI, love GHI. GHI the spider, spider almost overpowers it to my eye, but GHI pastel is something that I was kind of like on honestly until I made them, and then it was like holy shit. So I'm really excited about what she can do because I think Super Pastel GHI would be off the chart. There's a lot of things I'll be able to do with that snake. So I'm really, really excited about that. So anyway, wanted to kind of share that with you since you were here. And I was pretty stoked that I got her to eat, and not just eat. I guess the big victory is we were always getting her to eat every now and then by leaving something in there. But this last time I fed her, she just went on a tear. Wham! And nailed it right away. I was like, damn. So, and she was coming towards food, which to me is such a good sign. That kind of says I'm over whatever the fuck my problem was, and I'm ready to start really eating, and something has clicked in her that's hopefully started that food drive. And I think that we're going to see massive gains on her in the next several months. So, anyway, that's my hope. Yeah, there you go, Travis. So you probably know more about them than I do as far as how they look. But GHI Pastel is phenomenal. I was trying to make GHI lesser, and I actually didn't make a single GHI lesser because I don't think I did, but I made a lot of GHI pastels. We made, I think we got 4 healthy eggs out of that. I made 1 lesser and 3 GHI pastels. Yeah, and she has been, and I mean, Cody can tell you, she has been a real pain in the ass. So, yes. It's probably, I don't know how many meals I've gotten her since I've got her. Right away, we got a couple in, and then it slowed down, and get one, and it slowed down, and it's been boom, 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 boom. The Axanthic Pinstripe is doing wonderfully, although, truth be told, I probably tried to give it a little bit bigger meal than I should have the other day, so I don't think she ate. Let me pull her out. But you can see that little chunky monkey right there, doing really good. Doing really good. She did eat. I had to change it out. But you get some that are pain. Like this is Aaron Snake, and it's from 2018, and it's a raging pain in the ass. Not as big as it should be, but a little het pied female, fire yellow belly, het pied. Come on. Oh, something else I should get in there. Let you guys know. Uh, so let me go about how I want to tell you all how I did this. So I am human, which means I fuck things up. And recently, I screwed something up. Uh, and what I did was we had this het pie that had been sold, right? That we were going to go and meet a customer in Tulsa for. Had it sitting there, no problem, just kind of hanging out, waiting to go. Well, my sister lives in Tulsa, so we were going there for Thanksgiving. So we were like, hey, arranged a meeting for it and everything else. And went to look and figured out that what had happened was I looked, and this was for a Patreon member. I looked at the wrong line in my spreadsheet, I think is what I did when I was pulling out a bunch of those Star Normals that hadn't sold and wholesaling them to the shop. So somehow I got off on the fact that it was sold and pulled that snake, shipped it off to the shop, wholesaling it. Yeah, that's a mistake. So here was this female het pie that somebody had bought that I no longer had. How many locks? Woohoo! Awesome. So fingers crossed for Visual Desert Ghost, right? So anyway, that kind of sucked. So what we did to make that right, because again, it's a customer, it's my fault, it's a Patreon member, and this was my error, not theirs, is we ended up exchanging that snake, and instead of giving them a het pie, because I didn't have any of the het pies laying around, other than that one that's my wife's snake. And while I love all of y'all as my customers, I do love my wife, and I didn't want to end up divorced, so I wasn't going to give away her snake. So we did swap that out for them for a visual pipe. The reason we did that is because I felt that it was the right thing to do. It was my error, and when I make an error, that's, I mean, some things are outside of my control, like a snake passing away. I can't control that. I can do that. Well, I mean, I do the best I can with them, but when I sell somebody's snake, like that's a pretty big human error. It's going to happen. Only time it's ever happened. But when I screw that up, I feel I should either replace that for sure or I should upgrade it. And in this case, that was the closest upgrade I had. So I gave them, for the price of the female Visharet pie, they got a visual pie. So needless to say, worked out great for them, right? Yeah, no shit, right, Travis? But the reason I'm telling you guys this is because that does mean that one of the visual pies I had, I had to use for that. So it won't make the first release Patreon because it already went to a Patreon member based on my screw up. But we still have a lot of pies we are going to be releasing to you. So if you follow that clutch update, you're going to see one missing, which I'll explain in the video why it's missing. And you're also going to see one missing when we release them to you. That's why. So I wanted to disclose that now so you guys didn't have to later on go, well, why is there one of the pies not being sold or talked about? Well, that was because I goofed up, and so I had to make it right with somebody else. And so they got a very, very happy Thanksgiving surprise that was actually delivered on Thanksgiving because we met them about 3 blocks from my sister's house and got a visual pied female instead of het pied. So happy Thanksgiving to them. And, there'll be one less for everybody else. So sorry about that on that front, but, it kind of was the best way to handle that, I thought. All right. Do you guys have any questions, anything you want to talk about before we look at getting off of here and get out of our safe troll space and I go watch K-State probably lose? Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like I say on Jam on Yours, I remember it. It had the major rectal implosion, if I remember that, and passed away because that was a major, major ass blowout. I've had a few. I had one this year that actually had I'm trying to get the proper name for it. It's escaping me right now. It's where it's outsides or its insides become its outsides. Prolapse. That's what I'm looking for. I was able to fix that one pretty easy with just a warm water soak and then a little bit of manipulating and put it back in. That one had, Jeremy, there was no fixing it. I tried to take the swelling down with the sugar slurry and nothing. So it just didn't work. Well, I tell you what, Doug, if you guys, doing any clown stuff, we have 2 visual clowns, one of which is, I think, special. It just acts kind of goofy. Now, if we get ready, we will be releasing. They are Poslet Caramel. You need to be aware of that. Uh, just so we're on full disclosure. They were the part of the accidental caramel clutches. So there is that. We'll be releasing those too. Then this year, that did put a big kink in our clown plan. So this year I'm going to be shopping for a clown male, a visual clown male with a few extra kicker genes to get back into breeding my het clown females. And then we also have a visual clown female that may not make it this year. We have another het clown female that is at least a bumblebee het clown. I think there's another gene kicking around in there that we're putting into our trouser now, who is a visual clown that ended up being surprisingly het caramel. So, and now let's talk about those cars, guys. So, I guess people on the transmission. I don't do the cars too much on the video because my thought process was for those people that aren't car people, they're going to look at that and say, "Oh, why am I giving this guy's business?" Or we'll see it on YouTube and just think I'm kind of a douche because there's 3 Corvettes over there. Truth be told, the newest one is a 2006. So it's taken me 20 plus years of my life, not right at 20 years, 21 years to acquire those cars. And none of them are, the newest one's 13 years old. So it's not like there's a whole mint of money there. I mean, but it is still very blessed to have them. If you guys want to see those, whenever we get some nice weather, I'll gladly do a video on them and share them with you. I haven't done that on YouTube because it just really isn't snake related. And it also, I thought, might post us in a light that I'm not trying to present it in. I don't want to present the light of, and I know people do it. Like, I'll give an example. And again, I'm not bashing anybody. It's just a different thought process. Like Miguel. And I like Miguel. Miguel's pretty awesome. He's done a lot of video with his cars and shit like that. And I almost kind of look at that like a 90s rap video. What I mean is it's like, oh, be a rapper, get a lot of money, get Ferraris and shit, right? And the thing is, I don't think snake breeding is really a route to do that. I don't think snake breeding equals that kind of stuff. So I've avoided that. But if you guys want to see them, we'll show them to you. But it's not, I didn't want to promote become a snake breeder, make lots of money, because I'm becoming a snake breeder. I think even becoming a very successful snake breeder might mean making a middle class income. It's not a great. Actually, that's the words I'm looking for. You took them right out of my mouth. A false perspective. So, so yes. But if you guys want to see them, I'll show them to you when the weather's good. Just remind me. We'll definitely do that, and I'll kind of tell you about each one, even the one that's not running. But there you are. That's why we have it. Now, somebody asked about breeding loans. I would say be very, very careful and make sure that if you're going to get a loan to breed, make sure it's one that you have a plan to pay back minus the money you make from ball pythons. That way, if you have a bad season or something doesn't go right, you have a way to do it. Once you're more established, I think it's a little safer, And we have one. I mean, we do. We didn't get it to breed, but we got it to be in this house here. But truth be told, the only reason I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that is I felt like we have a stable enough month-to-month income that I know we can cover that through like Patreon and things. And on the, oh my God, the world just fell apart aspect, the house is worth more than what our loan is. So we could always part with the house to pay off the loan, and built into our loan contract with our investor, that's actually in there. It says, should the business ever fold or not be able to pay for that the house would be sold, payments would pause, house would be sold, they would get their full payment from the house sale, then what was left over would be left for Kurt and I. So just make sure you have a way to deal with it if the breeding doesn't go as planned. That's what I would say. And yes, if you guys come to here, we can sit in the reptile house, drink some beer, and play Cards Against Humanity. If the table's not done yet, which God knows when we'll get that done, then we can just sit at my house and do it. They may, but I ain't picking that thing up today because I'm wearing white. I don't need to bleed all over. We actually did have it out the other day, and I'll show her to you. She's doing good. But she did get a big meal. We're trying to grow her up. And we usually start her with the hook. So she is, what? I flipped it around to me. She is right there. So there you go. I did pick her up. Oh, I can feel that food. Oh, yeah, now you're pissed. So there you guys go. You can see she got a typical blood python attitude. Get your tail in there. But for the record, she was up. Then I could see her curving up and getting ready, so I thought I better put her back down. There are a few keys to handling them, and I will admit that I am not a pro at that yet. Typically, we start her on a hook, get her out, and get her moving a little bit, and then kind of work her kind of like a young carpet. But my hooks are all in the room from working rattlesnakes, so I didn't have any with me. What time is it? Holy shit! Is it really 5:30? No way! I can't do it. Damn if it isn't. I do got to hop off here soon. I got to meet people at 6 for this game, so it bites much worse than the white lipped. She didn't hit the camera too hard. She got it pretty good at one time and knocked it back a little bit. But the second time was a lot less thump. But yeah, she don't play around. And the other thing is, when I picked her up, I feel like I could still feel her meal, so I'm gonna put her back in there and let her kind of settle down. Other thing is too, I think with them, you've got to give them something to focus on. Uh, and in that case, when I put her back in, she definitely wanted to strike. I gave her the camera so I can manipulate. What you didn't see as I'm holding the camera, her tail's still out. I was able to get her to go back in so I could close the tub. Had I done that without the camera there, she's going to focus on me. So you got to give them something else to focus on too. Drinks. Oh, yeah, if we're playing Cards Against Humanity, yeah. That's the thing. I mean, the reptile house is closer to my house. I could get drunk here and walk home. You know what, David? That might be who we go with. I don't know who we're going to get a clown from. I'll probably see what TGR or Tall Grass Reptiles produces first, just because of the simple fact. And again, this isn't a knock on JCar. JCar is awesome. They're right here. And when I was coming up, they helped me a lot, especially when Eric was part of that, which isn't a knock on Reed. Eric was just the face, the outgoing face. I mean, he was a guy that I made 100 phone calls to or asked 100 questions of or whatnot, And so when I can promote them or when I can buy from them, I typically do. So if all things are equal, okay, we've got two snakes right here and here. This is Tall Grass. This is JKR. I'm gonna buy from Tall Grass. Now, if this is JKR, this is Tall Grass, I'm gonna buy from JKR. But all things being equal, I'm gonna buy from Tall Grass just because of the way that they helped me coming up. They hooked me up with several deals over the years. They've been very, very good to me. So that being said, I try to return that favor because I think they're people in the hobby who are good people. I do think it can be a predatory hobby in some ways, but for the most part, it's a good one. All right, guys, anything else? I have to hop off here so I can go grab my friends and go watch college basketball. And God, if we don't win this game against playing the Rattlers, believe it or not, I do believe it is your name, like Florida something, some Florida team. It's legit when I'm going to a basketball game wearing a football jersey. Just saying. There's a statement there. We're having a rough year. That's a statement. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. If you want to know about any more pairings going on, we do have some more pairing videos yet to film. I do expect this year we did 22 clutches, right? I do expect over about 30, I would say, this year. Right around 30. So 28 to 34 would be within the realm of expectation. Anything over that would be, yeah. Anything under that would be slightly disappointing this year. So I do think we're going to have more. I expect a higher success rate this year. I expect less problem clutches because we're not doing the head caramels and things like that. Truth be told, we produced about 3 more. We did 18 clutches, I think it was the year before, or 17. We did 22 this year. But you got to remember, 2 of them were almost total shit with the head caramel, and the fire yellow belly went totally south. So all told, we're going to produce right about the same number of snakes, which is kind of sad. But, it is what it is. The darkness clutch is, she was late in November, like early on. So probably I'd have to go back and look. I don't know for sure. But I do think we'll get 4 of those is my hope to hatch at least. So I'd be good. The black pastel spider with, if we pair her, I want her to take another meal for me before I start her going or two, would be the Suma. Again, we really want to do some Suma black pastel. The idea is black pastel banana Suma. I'm trying to get to solid purple. I do think that would be solid purple with a lot of spotting. But I think the black pastel with the Suma, I could just go straight Suma, but I want to darken it up even more. It'd be kind of fun. So I am too, Stephanie, on that. I have no idea. It's going to be one hell of a clutch cutting. I'm just hoping that some of them make it. You know, like the year we've had, I'm not ruling anything out. So, well, I was just checked them the other day, and I know two of them look completely screwed. The rest of them look pretty good. And again, I think what it was, you know, I don't think there was enough temperature shock and moving them from here to there over such a short time in a preheated Jeep. But I think the movement, driving out of a driveway, driving into a driveway, I think that might have caused me some issues. So I think some of the loss is probably live and learn when it comes to moving. But yeah, the 17-2020, yeah, but I think if I remember correctly, wherever I had them at, they were supposed to probably hatch this year around Christmas. So I might have the date wrong, you know? I didn't think about that either, obviously, until I was trying to what the hell's going on. That was what I came up with as a possible issue. Because I noticed a big uptick in problems once we were moving eggs from here to the other house. And so it has to do something with that. Getting the incubator here will be fine. I believe that so strongly that the last set of eggs that got laid, I literally put in an incubator, a separate incubator here. So I didn't want to move them. I do think that was causing me some issues. But again, it's one of those things that I'm not perfect, and I'm going to learn as I go. And I'm glad you guys stick with me while I do. So, and I'll be learning the entire time. You know, I can be at this for 25 years and still learning. So, all right, let me hop off here. I got to go make that drive, give me some popcorn, a soda, and cheer on my Wildcats. Hopefully we can do something good. And I think some will make it. I do. I mean, but again, it's a Sid to Sid pairing. So that's curious. We're looking for true ghosts. I may not be able to see what I got if we were to hit on all the genetics anyway, because you can get Xanthic, you can get Ghost, you can get Xanthic Ghost out of that. Spiders in there as well. It's going to mix things up a little bit. And then, of course, we're hoping for the darkness. If the darkness, you know, in a perfect world, to me, they'd all three come out, or all four would come out. One het true ghost, because I just want to het true ghost, and three non-visual anything else, but all dark. Now, if that were to happen, and if the het true ghosts look different than pictures of other het true ghosts, then I think we got something. And I would be pretty comfortable in saying, look, this is a deal. This is what it is. This is where we're at. I mean, obviously, you know, you can't ever guarantee something but on that type of level. But there would be enough evidence to say, hey, this is something. We talked about what we would do if we had that hit. And truth be told, we'd sell them all. The reason we would sell them all is because there'd be more money in it long term if I kept some back and I bred, you know, especially I held back the females and I bred the male to them. But the issue comes in, then I'd be having a sib to sib pairing, and I'd be breeding the daddy uncle to the offspring. And I think that would be just a little too inbred. So rather than make the most money, if that were to happen, I think it's better to push that genetic out to other places to crossbreed now. I think that would be the best solution for it. And I think that's what I'll end up doing. It does mean more money now, less money long term, significantly less, like tens of thousands of dollars less. But I think it would be the best thing for that genetic to be stable in the hobby to do it that way. So there you are. All right, guys, I love each and every one of you. But I got to jump up off here because it is time for me to go and catch a basketball game and a football game on my phone. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.